Hi, everybody. This is Herbert from DECO BOKO Speaks. Today we have Friedia, co-owner of Paper Please Shop. Hi, Friedia. Good morning.
Hi, Herbert. How's it going?
Pretty good. We've known each other for maybe a couple of years now,
hmm
and I know you're a stationery expert.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a stationery expert, but I do love stationery. That's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Maybe if you can give us a little bit about your background and how you got into stationery and what you do now at the shop.
Yeah, so I am half Japanese, half Brazilian. I was born in Germany, but I grew up in Brazil and the States. And then when I was 12, I moved to Japan. And so my middle school, high school, and some few years working there, I was in Japan. And when you're there, um, there's stationery everywhere. There's no way to like not see it or you know and kids at school too, it's all about what mechanical pencil is good, what pen is good. So I think I really got my stationery bug while I was a student there. um yeah, every time I'd get to go to like a stationery store, it would just be the best day ever. And then I moved to the United States around 2004, and I moved from Tokyo to LA, two totally different cities. And I think what I missed from living in Tokyo was, the people, and I don't know, you're just constantly on the go, where LA is so laid back. And I just missed stationery again. So every time I went back to Japan, this is no joke. Every time I went back to Japan, I would carry an extra duffel bag just so I could stuff it with stationery stuff. I
Oh,
would
wow.
buy. So I would have like notebooks I never used and pens. But yeah, that wasn't my occupation or anything. And then, right. Yeah, so when I had my son, I had some free time, and I've always done a lot of illustrations on the side.
Mhm.
And I thought, why don't I do my stationery line that I've always wanted? But over here, it's a little different. We're more greeting card um, based, other than, letter sets. I think it's growing now, but 5 years ago, it wasn't as big. So I started doing cards on the side, and it would sell. And so I thought, oh, I should probably try wholesale. And that's when I started that recently. And because of that, I was able to go to trade shows in New York and see how big the New York Stationery Show is, and all the other trade shows are, and how there's so many great stationaries even in the US. But yeah, I guess I felt like LA lacked a spot for that. It's either a gift shop or a art store, and there's
Right.
no in the middle. Um, and so, yeah, my friend Christine and I decided, let's open up a shop. Crazy idea, but yeah, we wanted to kind of merge it together. And she's Korean, so we get to bring in Korean items. Since I can use my Japanese, I can bring Japanese items, and of course, working with Herbert. Um, and yeah, so we opened up Paper Please in February of 2020. And then unfortunately, we got hit by the pandemic, and we had to close on March 15th. But we just started to reopen the end of July, and we're adding days little by little until I guess there's another shutdown. But yeah, that's about it.
So you mentioned that after seeing the New York gift show and
Mhm.
the New York Stationery Show, you saw there's lots of potential
Mhm.
in Japanese stationery for the U.S. market, um,
Mhm.
and um, you wanted to fill the gap in LA that LA doesn't really have right now.
Yeah.
Uh, was that just? Did you think that gap was just in LA, or do you think it's all over the US?
I haven't traveled all over the US. I've only traveled, East side or west side, New York side or LA. So I haven't seen it the middle as much. But yeah, I do think the anytime I bring in a new Japanese stationery into the shop, everyone's just like, oh, what's that? You know, what does it mean? What does this say? And how does it work? Whereas in Japan, it's an everyday thing for us. And I want to bring that excitement of Japanese stationery here. And I don't know, my main goal for Paper Please is to really show that stationery doesn't have to be boring. It can be fun and interesting and intimate. You know, like I want people to start writing again and carrying a notebook and a pen instead of just putting everything on your phone, because once your phone is broken, that's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I was about to ask how people, U.S. customers react to your products at the store. Like, I'm sure people have access to, all kinds of information online. So
True.
I would assume that if people are into it, they would kind of do some research and then kind of know what the products are before they actually see them. Is that the case for most of your customers, or are they mostly like, I've never seen this before?
Some are. Some come specifically, they're like, oh, I know you're carrying this mechanical pencil or something, and they come in, but most of them are not. And so they do ask questions like, how does this work? Or what does this mean? Why is the page like this? So yeah, it takes a little explaining, but once they find out, the way Japanese curate things are very thoughtful, and there's so much intention that goes into something that when other people find out, it gets a little bit more special. It's not just paper binded. It's the reason they added this piece of yellow paper is for this, and the coil is made this way. So yeah, I think people appreciate it once you explain a little.
And I visited your store. That was about a month ago, I think.
Yeah.
And I noticed you have a lot of items other than stationery, like home goods and kitchenware and things like that. What's the percentage of stationery and everything else in the store, and how do you curate the store? Like, do you have a concept that you follow, or do you just kind of go to showrooms and just kind of get inspired like on the spot? Or
yeah, so our concept for the store is anything you would find around your desk. So if it's a hair tie, I always have a hair tie because I'm a girl. Maybe you have one too. But yeah, to pull your hair back, to write. If it's a coaster, again, anything around the desk is our goal. But I would say majority of our goods that sells more are notebooks, pens, and stickers. Yeah, we have a sticker wall. And this is something that Christine and I wanted to do from day one. We're really into vinyl stickers to just like put on your laptop or your water bottle or something. And so we created a wall, and we have stickers from creators around here. We also have stickers from Japan, actually, and other parts of Asia that do really well for us. So yeah, but I would still say majority of our sales are paper goods and pens. Yeah.
How did you come up with the store name Paper Please?
Paper Please. Christine and I had been throwing out a lot of names for a while. We would just meet up and just say, what makes you think of stationery? And we just like start saying things. And then as a joke, Christine is like, yeah, I know. Can I just have paper, please? And we both looked at each other like, oh, paper, please. It's so random, but it wasn't planned. And yeah, it just came out because Christine had blurted it out.
I really like the name and the logo. You
Oh,
gave
thanks.
me a couple of stickers before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Do you make other stickers and sell them at the store, or?
Yeah, so because our sticker wall is so popular, we started designing our own stickers and selling them. And we've also started just making little things that we haven't been able to find in the market, like little note cards, or right now we're working on like some rubber stamps,
Mhm.
like stuff like that. Yeah, we haven't been able to find either a good distributor or someone that makes really interesting stamps. So we've been slowly
Yeah.
adding things to
Mhm.
our store.
You know, the pandemic really sucks because I think there's a lot of workshops I think you can come up with stationery and stamps and postcards and things like that. So,
Yeah.
you know, like when I was in Japan, I grew up in Japan too,
Mhm.
and we would have like vegetables cut in half, and they would like carve
Yeah.
them, make it into like stamps and stuff like that.
Yeah, and put on a tenugui or something like
Yeah,
a.
or like satsumaimo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cut the yam and then
Yeah.
you carve it and then you use it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
And
remember doing that too.
so
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, this pandemic definitely is hitting everybody
I
hard. And
know.
yeah, but I'm really happy that I'm like as a wholesaler, I'm really happy to see stores like you guys, you know, being open.
We tried.
Yeah, 'cause I know it's really hard when there's like almost no traffic, you know, all day, but you still have to have some hope left and you just
Yeah.
go through it. So
Yeah, so we actually have an upstairs where we wanted to do workshops, and we had workshops lined up till May, but we had to shut them down. And when, like you said, when pandemic hit and we reopened, we're right in Chinatown where, you know, we have someone that keeps calling it a China virus, which makes everyone just really scared to come into that area. So we knew we had to like really re-strategize on ways to bring people over to Chinatown, because their main customers for Chinatown are tourists. You know, when you come to LA, that's something you do. A lot of local people actually don't know Chinatown that well. What we've been trying to do to bring customers in are, every other weekend we have a bake sale, because we got to meet so many people that because of pandemic they either lost their jobs or they started baking goods from home and started a business, and we wanted to support and also try to bring people in. So every other Saturday is a bake sale with a pastry person and a sourdough person. We've actually just started bringing in miso balls. I'm sure you know her, Aisan.
oh yeah, yeah, she participated in a couple of events that I've curated in the past.
Yeah. So she's been bringing in her miso balls for miso soup. And then
Mhm.
starting this week, we also have a jam girl, a girl who makes jams that will be bringing her stuff in. So yeah, we're trying to just, and it's something that you pre-order. So you just you come pick up and you can go, or you can browse around the store. But we don't want people to be standing in line, you know, or in a crowded space. So everything is outside. You come up, give them your name, you pick up. You either can roam around the store or you can just like roam around Chinatown. And that's been really helpful to like collaborate with other people. And you know, it also comes together because pastries is also something I have on my desk. If I can eat bread at any time, I would.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's been it, yeah, re-strategizing throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, I think like DECO BOKO is trying to achieve. Like we're trying to maintain the balance between digital and physical experiences. And I think stationery is a very important element of the physical interactions. And also, like, I've noticed, like, ever since the internet and the smartphones, pottery has been really, popular.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
I think a lot of people just kind of miss the 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 feeling and touch of actual things.
Yeah, totally.
So I think your concept at Paper Please is really nice. I really like. I'm a analog person. Like
Mm.
I'm considering myself like the last generation of the analog era
Yeah.
because back then we had like we know what cassette tapes and VHS and things like that
I
are. At
know.
the same time, we were the first generation that were introduced to CDs and MDs and digital stuff. So like we experienced both. So I think there's something that we could kind of there's an important role for our generation to
Mhm.
kind of offer to the whole situation right now, especially after the pandemic.
Yeah.
People are kind of revaluing certain things in life.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true. Finding things that, last longer. And then it
mhm,
does go back to, things made in Japan do
yeah,
last longer and,
mhm,
it's something, it might be a little bit more expensive, but it's something you treasure for a very long time.
yeah. So I was gonna ask you how Japanese products would be um, like in the U.S. market, but I kind of want to change the question to like what's the difference between Japanese stationery and American stationery?
The difference? I mean, I don't want to talk bad about American stationery because I do love a few brands, but I feel like Japanese stationery, there's just more reason and intention for everything they make. They don't just bring in any paper from any mill. It's like a specific paper of this, the smoothness, the texture of it. Um, I don't know, the way they put things together are just more, I don't know. The Japanese are so detail oriented where it's not just, you know, picking things
Mhm.
and like this is a collection. It's very thought out. And yeah, I feel like people are understanding that where, if you like there's a mechanical pencil that you guys have, but it has this cap that you put on the other side. When you show that, it's the simplest thing. But when you show
Yeah,
it to people, they're like, oh, what? A mechanical pencil with a lid? And the weight is so good. Like, I feel like they really thought of everything when they made it.
yeah,
Um, so, yeah, I think it's just they're putting a little bit more into it. When Japanese are really into one thing, they put their whole life into it. It's not just like a job, it's literally them, it's what they do. And yeah, I feel like there's just more into whatever it is they're creating.
yeah, yeah. I agree, and I think you could say that towards many different products from Japan, but
Mhm.
especially I think stationery is like the most. Um, there's a lot of variety to it.
Totally.
Like
Yeah,
there's so many like there were like one whole building of stationery like
I know.
in Japan.
Yeah, you think how many notebooks can you really make? And there's like thousands
Yeah,
in
like one
color.
whole floor is just fountain pens and stuff like that. So I think it's
Yeah.
fun to be in that situation. And like also I think Japanese people are kind of like um how do you say akipoi? Akipoi ってなんていうの？
Akipoi, like they get tired of things easily, or
Yeah, or they lose interest,
they
or
lose it.
they demand new products like one
Yeah.
after the other. So like Japanese drinks are always new, right? Like they're
Limited edition.
yeah,
Yeah.
like some are only like, there's so many new products that they come up with, and
Yeah.
that's another part that's kind of interesting that you don't really see in the US.
That's true. When in the US, I feel like once they find something they like, they stick with it for a very long time. Or if you find a restaurant you like and you go to it, they always order the same
Yeah.
thing. So yeah, that's true.
Is there anything like I know like compared to maybe like 10 or 15 years ago, there's so much more options for Japanese products in the US with more local distributors and places like that, showrooms. But
Yeah.
is there anything like specifically that you're looking for that that it exists that you can't um, have access to in the US right now?
I haven't been to Japan in a while, so I don't know what they currently have. But I don't know. This might be super random, but like, when you go to like Loft and then right by the register, they have like all these post-it notes of like a
Yeah.
sarariman or like a the very Japanese. It's not very cute. It's not like a Hello Kitty thing. It's more like hand drawn, like I don't know. ちょっとふざけてる. What do you call it? It's
Yeah.
like it doesn't make any sense. The
Mhm.
drawings aren't perfect, but like that type of stationery, I like because I know that when my friends receive the letter and they open it, it's gonna make them laugh. But I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of distributors probably don't want to deal with it because you don't know the market. But I would say something more. It looks more handmade type of stationery. I would like to see more because even for us, if it's not through like you guys, I contact them directly, and there's this one company, they make rubber stamps and letter sets. And I was like, can you send it to the US? And they're like, oh, we've only done this one time. We don't know how to do this. And I'm like, what do you mean? You're so famous. And they're like, oh, we only have 8 people working for us. And I was like, what? 8 people? But like, I don't know. It's funny because you think like, all these brands are these huge companies in Japan, but yeah, so I don't know. I'd like to find a little bit more like underground
Right,
station.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens to me a lot too. Like especially when I'm trying to find like hidden pottery kilns and things like that. Because like it only happens in Japan, but they still kind of fax is still kind of like their thing. Like
They did. They asked for a fax.
yeah, like it's totally they're they're still using the fax machines like on a
Yeah,
regular basis, and I'm like,
that's
I don't have a fax machine. Like, you know, some older like masters don't even have like emails, and
oh
that's
no.
also like kind of like the fun part
Right.
of it because you're the only person that knows that it exists. So when I bring back stuff like that, then even if it's not like a whole lot of merchandise,
Yeah,
I think it'll be kind of special to have in the shop.
totally.
So yeah. So yeah, I know you've visited the DECO BOKO website a few times.
Yeah.
Do you have any product or brand that you saw that you might be interested in, or
There's
what was your
always so many. I think we placed an order for, did we do like the bento boxes?
Yeah, and the coffee
um,
dripper?
yeah, the coffee drippers. The coffee drippers are so cute. The teapots are also so cute. What's surprisingly selling well is the tenugui.
Hmm.
We got a few from you, and again, it was like, how do we explain this? But it's just one of those things where people pick it up and they're using it as like gift wrapping or
Yeah.
wrapping things in. So yeah.
Yeah, one thing I really like about the US customers is that they have a lot of creativity, and you don't really have to, like, you can explain the basics, but like people can always like be creative, and they would turn a traditional Japanese product into something that would fit in the American lifestyle without
Right.
even like explaining it. And
Yeah.
I really enjoy seeing that happen.
Mhm.
Um, I was working at a retail store for about 5 years, and that was kind of like my like I would be really satisfied if someone would do that to a product that I found in Japan,
Yeah.
and then I would tell the manufacturer or the person who made it, and we would all be happy about it. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You come up with some pretty creative ideas too, I think.
Because like when I used to sell tenuguis at the shop,
Yeah.
there would be like designers come in and buy like 10 different patterns of the tenuguis,
Yeah.
and they make a patchwork on their jacket
Ooh.
on the back, and it looked really cool because it was a denim jacket, and the guy was only choosing blue patterns, and it looked really nice on the denim.
Oh
So
wow.
that kind of idea I don't really see it coming from a Japanese person, because people would think it's a tenugui だからもう
Yeah,
tenugui
just tenugui.
not just tenugui, but yeah, I
That's
think
true.
that's kind of fun, selling Japanese
Yeah.
products in the
I
US.
did have one woman buy it, and she said she was going to add it to her quilt. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I could see that. I know. For me, I was like, I would never cut up a tenugui. There's
yeah,
a reason it's so long.
yeah.
But yeah, that's true.
So yeah, did you wanna did you wanna add anything to the viewers? Did you wanna mention anything about anything?
Oh, we do have, if I can, we just started a subscription box of greeting cards that so originally when we first moved in, since we have so many tourists coming into Chinatown, we noticed that every other gift shop in Chinatown has a postcard rack, right? And we didn't want to just sell postcards that you can get at all these other stores. We wanted to create our own. So we reached out to a handful of artist friends and said, hey, will you make a China postcard? And whenever you have a sale, we'll give you commission. We'll give you a piece of it. And it's done really, really well. So we took the same concept and made a greeting card box monthly. It comes with 4 cards, a pen, and either a sticker or a stamp or something. And so we've been able to just come up with a theme, a color story. We send it to the artist, and they give us an artwork. And we only do it through that box. And then you'll never see it ever again. But we did our first one in October. We just shipped out our November, and we're now starting to sell our December. So if anyone wants like a unique gift that's not only helping small businesses but also helping smaller creators, we do have a gift box. It's like a surprise box, a stationery box. of greeting cards that you can use this holiday. Yeah, we also have some Japanese creators in there. For the first one, Eri-san, she's actually just like a graphic designer, but she lives up the street from us. And she draws like really cute illustrations. And then yeah, this month we have one too. So we like to partner with our Asian American friends to make these cards.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for today. If you're a wholesale buyer and have not checked out DECO BOKO yet, please register through deco-boko.com, and we'll see you guys there. All right, thank you, Friedia.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. Safe travels.
Bye.
Bye.